Thanks to the support as a channel member, Exos Gaming. Thankfully, we've recovered from yesterday's episode and fingers crossed, we're back in a promotion race, although I fear we're battling for a spot in the playoffs because automatic promotion looks like it's already gone. I'm welcome to part 71 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the league. We're at home against both Arizona and Connecticut. Since you were last with me, there you go. That's where we recovered. We did get ourselves knocked out of both cups during this recovery, but we have won some games in the league as well. 3 consecutive wins in there against New Amsterdam, Carolina Academy, and Ocean City. Interestingly, Ocean City, who are the team who are well clear at the top of the league. They're 9 points clear of us, and we beat them relatively comfortably. But then, off the back of getting knocked out of the US Open Cup, we then only drew against the Tulsa Roughnecks, lost against the San Diego Gauchos, who've been on a similar journey to us over the course of this save. They seem to be a team we see a lot of, and we've now just recovered with a victory over the Maryland Bobcats. So this is where we sit in the league, 5th place, as I say, 9 points off the top, comfortably in that playoff mix, but it is a 1 automatic promotion league with a 6-team playoff. We struggle with playoffs as it is, but 6-team playoffs are a nightmare. Leagues where you only have 1 automatic promotion are a nightmare. I think this is the last time we'll have to put up with just 1 automatic promotion. When we go up to the next league up, there's 3 automatic promotion from that, and then 2, and then 2. So basically, the English Football League structure takes over at that point. But I guess this is English Football League structure as well. It's a nightmare. It's going to be hard to get out of. We need to string some wins together. And this is the team we're going to be sending out to get our string up and running. I feel like we might have signed some players, but now I'm thinking about it, I think that might have been in the Twitch save. Although this guy is in. I'm at that point again where I'm confused between my 3 saves. But this guy's in, but we can't register him yet. So we'll see him once we get into December. And it looks like Past Kev is trying to bring in a goalkeeper as well, which, based on what we saw yesterday, does make a lot of sense. This guy looks like he's going to be pretty useful as a replacement for Evans. He's previously of Arizona. He's just been released by Arizona, the team that we're playing today. So that would suggest to me that they've got a goalkeeper who's even better than he is. So we might be in for a difficult task today. Although Arizona themselves are down in 16th place in the league. Sometimes things just make no sense. So the team, it's Evans in goal, a back four of Llewellyn, Morgan, Vinicius and Parmenta, Ryan and Gomez in midfield, Johnson and Huyan out wide, Takada and Tuther Johnson up front. Jorge Hernandez still only 4 goals for the season. I know it does say that he's our highest average rating player, which I guess he is, but we've been playing him, as you can see. He played in the previous game, and Takada's coming back in for him now. But he played in the previous game. I think he started more than half of our games this season. He is just struggling for goals, and unfortunately, with Jorge Hernandez, all he ever really was goals, whether he was scoring them or picking up assists from his corners and his set pieces. Without goals, he does just kind of run around aimlessly and miss a lot of chances. So I think Johnson is our main man goal scorer wise now, and Takada just seems like he's a better partner for Johnson. So I think this is what we're going with for the time being. It's not necessarily all over for Jorge Hernandez. We've seen before in previous seasons with Stephen Stone, for example, we basically had him written off for an entire year, and he came back in and was a key part of our promotion team last year, although he has dropped well down the pecking order this year and is now on the transfer list. But Hernandez has got the opportunity to force his way back into this team. All we need is one of these guys to get recalled by their parent club, because both of them are on loan, or drop out of form. Hernandez come off the bench a couple of times and grab goals. It's not all over, but he's not quite the terrifying goal threat at this level as he has been previous levels down. It reminds me a lot of Semic Powell from the original home series that we did a few years ago, who is still talked about as a legend of the channel, because he did score an incredible amount of goals during Home's run through the non-league. But by the time we got to the Football League, he was only really still at the club for nostalgia. He was never really good enough to be a Football League player. I mean, we kept him around. He scored in the Champions League. We kept him at the club because he was a hero. But by the time we hit this kind of level, tier 4, tier 5, it was pretty clear that if it hadn't been for the fact he'd done so much for us over the previous 5 or 6 years, he'd be long gone. And I think it's going to be a similar situation with Jorge Hernandez. He's got over 200 goals for the club. He isn't going anywhere. But at the same time, I think the days of him being our first name on the team sheet, regular starter, top scorer kind of guy, I think those days might be coming to an end. Meanwhile, we're 2-0 up and up to second place in the league. So it's not all doom and gloom. You might be sad about Hernandez, but the future of the club is looking very bright. Vinicius in there with a header to make it 2-0. As you can see behind me as well, there, I've restuck my YouTube plaque back to the wall and put it a little bit lower. So when I get the new one soon, I can put it on top and we might be able to get them both in shot. We've got priorities around here. I want Kevy 2 plaques to be a thing. It is very close to my nano leaf now, though, so if it falls again, it's almost certainly taking that off the wall with it. It'll be fine. Right, 2-0 up at half-time. As you can see, there's confirmation that we are up to second in the league and only 6 points behind Ocean City as it stands, but Ocean City do have that game in hand that presumably they're going to play tomorrow. We know we're good enough to beat them. If they hit a difficult run of form, we've got to play them again at some point this season, admittedly at their place, and it was quite a close game at our place. But it's not all over. We're still in the first half of the season. If we can get into a good run of form now and stop having little wobbles like the one we had in yesterday's video where it just all seemed like it was going wrong, if we can sort ourselves out and get in a nice run of form similar to what we've done in previous years, it is not impossible for us to finish top of this league still. Johnson's in again here, and his effort is saved by the Kaz goalkeeper. Who on earth are we playing? I forget who we're playing. Does anyone remember? What's Kaz short for? FC Arizona. Of course it is. Of course Kaz is going to be Arizona. Why didn't I think of that? I know. Before you're getting there, with your little fingers on your little keyboards. I know it's FC Arizona. That's what it's short for. I get that. It's just still stupid. If it had said Ariz, I'd have known. Oh, Arizona. Now I get it. I need to work on the abbreviations for some of these teams. Right. Ryan in midfield ends up with Huyan. This is some lovely passing play. Unfortunately, when it got to Johnson, he thought we were still doing passing football and just looked to, I mean, I think he passed it to the goalkeeper rather than having a shot. There was certainly no oomph behind the way he struck the ball. It was just relatively gentle into the hands of the goalkeeper. We are going to bring on Jorge Hernandez. He can come on. We can't bring him on for Johnson. This is one of the other reasons why Hernandez is struggling for game time, because we can bring him on for Takada, but we can't bring him on for Johnson because he's now too old. We need to have young players. What we need is a real good batch of teenagers bringing into the club, like 4 or 5 first team ready 18, 19-year-olds, so I don't have to think about the age of the squad for the next couple of years. That would be the dream. Where I don't know, every season you get that email through talking about the top tier clubs releasing all their youth players, and every year so far we've not been able to sign any of them. We tried to get them on trial. They're just not interested. They don't want to come here. If this could be the year, I'm asking the football manager gods, if this could be the year when that email comes out, they all come in on trial and 8 of them are good enough to come into our first team squad, that'd be perfect, because then we don't have to worry about this age thing for ages. But I think I'm probably being a little bit hopeful there, although I guess we have seen, now we're professional, we are able to attract a much better calibre of player. So maybe this will be the year that we're able to bring those players in on trial and maybe sign a few of them. It's now going to be a question of, we can now bring them in on trial. Are they going to be good enough to improve us now? What is the difference in skill level, in ability between tier 5 and tiers 1 and 2 in this database? I still don't really know. I talked about this the other day, and a lot of people said in the comments, yeah, Kev, it gets harder. It gets much harder. That step up that you get when you hit the US Premier League, that's a big, hard step up. So we shall see. I still think, I mean, I was talking about it on stream the other day. Part of me thinks we're as close to finishing this series as we are to finishing home, because home is that much harder because of the restrictions we've got on there with the players that we can bring in, and because the Premier League is the most difficult league in the entire game. I mean, winning the Premier League is probably the hardest thing to do in FM, certainly with a smaller club. So I do wonder if both saves are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years away from finishing. Game time, not real time. I'm not still going to be playing these series when I'm in my mid-40s. There'll be other series. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, but these ones will be done by then. We won the football match. That's the important thing. Let's go and try and win another football match, and let's just keep trying to win football matches. One issue we have got is we're now more in debt than we were when we went into administration years ago, because full-time wages, they're difficult when you don't increase your income. We're going to see how that pans out. New owners not really endearing themselves to me just yet. Well, as is always the way, no sooner do I write Hernandez off than he's back in the team. Johnson is going to be out for the next 3 weeks. So Hernandez comes in alongside Takada, who's going to push forward into the more attacking role. We've also now picked up an injury to Evans. Perkinson is just recovering from an injury of his own. But at least we get to change the goalkeeper over. Lima also coming in to play at left back for us. It means Johnson, the other Johnson, just gets to be Johnson on his own now. Doesn't have to have any C before his name. So just normal Johnson. The other guy comes back in and everyone's taken to calling this guy normal Johnson. What's poor old Kevin Johnson going to have to be called if Chris Johnson is now known as normal Johnson? Right, we need a win here. Who are we playing? I feel like this is Connecticut, which of course ACC is short for Connecticut. Athletic Club Connecticut, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. AC Connecticut, but I'm not sure where they are in the league. We'll have a look next time we get to have a little look at the league table. For now, it is Connecticut who are on the ball, and I'd quite like us to resolve that situation. Big ball over the top. Vinicius has it covered, but his clearance is actually a poor one, straight back to a Connecticut player, and they just look to build nice and slowly and patiently again, just waiting for the right pass. And we are not really pressing them as much as I like to see my teams pressing. I mean, obviously, we've not yet done my typical switch that I do at some point in every save, where we eventually end up with some kind of variant of a gegenpress. We are still playing a system based on the wing play system, so we're not going to be pressing as much as I'd normally like. But that is a lovely ball over the top. Takada's in, and that is a lovely lower league counter-attack. You sit there watching them passing the ball around, soaking up pressure, and then someone wins the ball back, and then just bang. There you go. Ball over the top to quick striker who moves away from the defender with ease, and we're 1-0 up. So Connecticut are down in 19th in the league. That goal, if it stays as it is, puts us up to 4th with games in hand over, I think, everybody above us. Perkinson was a little bit all at sea there from that corner, but luckily the corner itself goes wide. It looks like Ocean City are actually dropping some points as well, because they're level on points with us. Well, that's a lovely header from Vinicius from the corner. Ocean City currently level on games played with us, but now only 4 points ahead. The other two teams between us and them have both played an extra game, and all of a sudden, after saying we're not in an automatic promotion race, bearing in mind we're still not even at the halfway point of the season, we're still 4 games away from the halfway point of the season, only 4 points off top of the league, we're absolutely in an automatic promotion race. We just need to keep this form going. It's exactly what I talked about at the start of the episode. We need a run of form. This will be 2 wins from 2 if we can hold on here. And I think that's off the back of several wins leading into this as well. So we are starting to hit some form at exactly the right time. If we can bring in the right players in January, we've got that goalkeeper coming in, we've got that midfielder coming in. We don't really have much in the way of money to spend, but if we can strengthen in key areas and really, really push on in January, I think we've got a chance of going back to back. I wish it was a choice. If they present me with a choice, I choose yes. I would like to get promoted again, please, because normally when we do these Road to Glory saves, we race up through the leagues, and we're in the Premier League by now. We're what, 7, 8, more than that. close to 10 seasons in, I should think, and we're still only in tier 5. It has been a long old slog to get as far as we've got so far. I would happily take a few consecutive promotions now to get us back on track time-wise. That's poor from Perkinson. 2-1. I'm talking about winning the league. Meanwhile, there's only one goal in it, and we're in very real danger of letting a lead slip against a team we should be much better than, which, I mean, that's the story of our season so far, letting teams who we should be beating back into games. It's definitely the big thing that we need to eliminate from our play. Right, we are going to make some changes because, you know, I love a 70th minute change. Valdez is going to come on there. We're going to bring Perez on at the back for Parmenta. Actually, we're going to bring him on for Lima, and we're going to put Perez on the other side. And we're just adding energy into areas where we need energy. A couple of fresh fullbacks and some energy on the right wing as well. Everyone else playing pretty well, including Hernandez, who's come back into the team today, picked himself up an assist from the corner for Vinicius, and just generally always plays well. It's what you get with Jorge Hernandez. What we're not getting with him this season is the goals from himself to go with it. Picking the ball up very deep here. I know we're playing him in a deeper role than we'd normally play. That is a beautiful pass to play Takada in, and it's another assist for Hernandez and a lovely finish from Takada. We've got another partnership here. Hernandez and Johnson don't really work together. Takada and Johnson works really well. What I'm seeing here is Takada can work with either of them, because Hernandez and Takada today have been excellent. So maybe Takada is just one of those players who makes everyone around him look better. He's not scoring loads and loads of goals himself, although he's got 2 today. But we play better as a team when Takada's in there. We need to try and sign that boy permanently, I think. But the league table is starting to take shape. As we come towards this halfway point of the season, it is looking like it's going in our favour. Let's just not mess it up in the next episode, eh? That's the goal from here. So there is your league table. 4 points off the top, level on games played with Ocean City, and not far away from any of these teams as far as goal difference is concerned. The rascals of the San Diego Gauchos are still in the mix as well. We're on course for a good season, boys and girls. Long may it continue. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.